What hit piece did Jay Stork make? What is he talking about? It's about crazy stuff. It's about crazy stuff.
Me think for the last couple of days, but maybe the meme "Chud is fair" is not quite accurate. So let me make a video. So personally,
the allegations are so ridiculous against Destiny. Ever since I saw this drop, I've been so excited to cover it on stream. Let's just dive straight into it.
But here's the thing, jealousy never gets you anywhere. If you are getting passed by Nick and other streamers and they pass your relevance level, do what I do. Congratulate them.
Jesus Christ. Cool.
Okay, let's start the show. How many of you...
I'm praying to God that Chud sees this. Well, he did. He did see it, okay? He didn't watch it on stream. Some would say he's sweeping. Some would say that he's actually afraid of Tommy C. Some would say that maybe he recognizes a little bit of truth in what Tommy's been saying about him. No, I'm with you. He said he didn't want to he didn't actually want to watch it, but he did discuss it earlier.
Remember the Keemstar principle. Put them on the chat and somebody tell me what I'm talking about, because I've talked about this pretty much since I was on beta. What is the Keemstar principle? What does Keemstar say? What have I mentioned? The one thing that Keem taught me that was absolutely true, and the best thing that Keem, and most useful thing. Beef then take fans. That's a simple way to put it. Anybody else? Collaborate. Make the opponent look like they were the one that started it. Correct.
How does it feel that your Kel stream 6 months ago was the catalyst for this? That is not true, okay? That is not true. Okay. Queman had already kind of sown the seeds of this eventual disruption long before I ever started even streaming, okay? I think it was months before I even started streaming. And then it just kind of heated up with the Cal thing, okay? Because Tommy got the idea that, I don't know, that people were coming after him. I've got no clue. It's super fucking weird.
Correct. I have seen this throughout my YouTube career. I've seen it done to friends, done to people I don't know, over and over again. I also experienced, before I knew Keem, with the people in Joe Cronin's community. People are so desperate for any kind of fame or attention, whether it's a small community or a big community, and it just turns people into monsters. Monsters that I basically pointed out on here for as long as I can remember. My favorite particular group to point out, mostly because I have a different way of looking at things in the internet. There is the way to look at it that everybody's content, and you really have no true friends because you haven't met them in real life. I don't like that because I think it's an excuse to be a phony. If I'm good with you, then it's just as good as I'm going to treat you the same way I would treat anybody in real life. That's my thing.
I don't know. I don't know where this comes from, that there is like one way or another way to like treat interactions like online. Like you either treat it as content or you treat people as real friends. That's just not true. That's like a childish way of thinking about any of this. You have to accept that both are true. In one instance, you are friendly with each other. There's like a personal relationship there, sure. But then the other sense, it's absolutely true that everybody around you is content. You have different relationships with different people, sure. But I'm saying even with friends, right? Fellow content creator friends, it will always be the fact that they are also content. If Morale is on my stream, and there's somebody who like vociferously hates Morale, and they're like DMing me, boom, 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 trying to get on, I might say, Morale, there's like a guy here who like really hates you, you know? I mean, he's in the waiting room. Maybe he should call in, right? You don't treat it as either or. You have to understand that people are going to treat it as both because both are true. You've got to have like a nuanced kind of perspective. I don't know. Oh, I guess water brain. I don't know.
Some people don't agree with that. Some people think that's too dangerous. But I don't. I would never farm anybody friends. You have to at least turn on me or something bad would happen before I did something like that. I'm not wrangling Vault, although it would be easy. Yeah, I go, what? Where'd that come from?
I'm helping you, man. I'm fucking helping you over here, man. I'm doing you a favor.
Yes, it's just an example. Just an example. Don't get upset.
All right.
Don't get upset. So this is something I've always lived by. Anybody who's been here for a long period of time, I want you to keep that in mind when I go further, because I smell something. I got a DM from some guy saying that they would be happy to moderate a debate with me and McMahon.
Okay.
Oh, God.
And why me?
What we sniffing? Is that the tar pits? Is that the garbage fires of Iraq? Is it my own BO? Oh no. I smell conspiracy, of course. Of course. Because some commentator sends you a message and says, I'd be happy to like do a debate or moderation between you and McMahon. Especially when, I mean, what? Tommy like watched his video on stream.
I also don't like to just criticize people based on what's popular or safe. I'd rather just read.
I mean, you're gonna watch his video on stream 17 hours after it came out. 17 hours after it came out, he was right fucking on it. And then you don't actually want to speak to the guy. Why would there need to be anything afoot? Somebody with like 300 odd subscribers. You've spoken about them. Yeah. If they feel like you've treated them harshly, whatever. I think I saw actually, because this ended up getting on Twitter. I saw DMs about this because somebody said to Tommy, "Oh, McMahon is like asking if he can, debate with you. Do you want to have a conversation? I'll moderate, whatever." And Tommy says, "Well, no, he can call in when we have like open phones. He can he can call me when we have like open phones." Which realistically, now I think about it, he's going back to the start of the stream. How he was like talking about what the one thing that Keemstar taught him, whatever, make it seem like the other person has started the fight. I guess that makes sense, but it's like, no. You can't have any kind of disagreement with Tommy if you call into his open phones. Because as soon as he starts speaking, you are literally inaudible. And you will always be, like 5-10 decibels, like quieter than he is anyway. So he can talk over you and whatever. And just so long as he like screams and shouts long enough, he kind of wins. So I can understand why McMahon doesn't want to like take that option. But yeah, I mean, if you've spoken about the guy and you shit talked him on stream and criticized his video, if he has like contentions with what you've said, like have him on. Why is it that big of a deal?
Hey, I'm not the only one that goofed on and spiked on his video. I'm not the only one. Why not pop up guts? Got a bigger. Oh, I know why. I know why. And we are seeing this, and I saw this in one of my.
Because you're like a teeny tiny shitter, and you're probably more approachable. I'd imagine. Why are you picking on me? Other people watch your video. Other people watch your video as well. Why are you picking on me, McMahon? Fucking 400 subscriber shitter. I mean, I'm teeny tiny as well, okay? So I'm obviously not shit talking the guy for like how big he is. But realistically, just if you want to go on stream and then upload a segment where you're going through and talking about the guy and his video, fair play. Why not just have like a conversation with him if he wants to? Papa Gut's also a coward? Yeah, maybe. I've got thoughts on that. But yeah, I don't know why you wouldn't actually speak to the guy.
Last videos. Everybody is, I know why. And we are seeing this, and I saw this in one of my last videos. Everybody is sick to fucking death of making some kind of outrageous hit piece, calling somebody a bunch of names, and demanding new debate. J-Sox was doing this with Willie Mack, and it's just, Everybody's tired of it. Everybody.
What? Making some outrageous kind of hit piece and then demanding to debate. What hit piece did Jay Stalk make? What is he talking about?
He's tired. You're a sweeper. You're a sweeper. You're a sweeper. You're a sweeper. Everybody is just sick. So this guy says that, and I just sent him a long lull. And then he writes back exactly like all these guys, like just like I was making fun of McMahon the other day. Oh, I don't think you're very confident in your position if you don't want to debate. Now I'm paraphrasing, of course. McMahon, I am absolutely confident from the bottom of my soul that you're...
Wait, hold on. Was that a stutter?
McMahon, I am absolutely confident from the bottom...
Absolutely confident.
McMahon, I am absolutely confident from the...
I don't think so. Something is telling me that might not be true. Oh my god. I mean, this is the thing. If he's literally going through the video and in the first 5 seconds, he's saying, you're insecure, you're a loser, I guarantee you don't feel secure in your opinions, you're totally bitch made. I mean, just like, okay, you've like done like some shit slinging. What's your complaint then? No, I'm not going to lower myself to doing that. You're literally debating whether he's secure or not.
Articles on stream at that point. So yeah, I already know people are gonna cry because I'm criticizing Nicholas Deorio, because apparently Nicholas Deorio...
Well, that's what happens. Like, see, that tells me everything he said before he doesn't mean, right? Yeah, you're right. If you punch up, you're gonna get a bunch of shit down. I'm doing with technicals right now and having a great time. But that also means you don't mean what you're saying. You don't mean what you're saying. It's just a front. You're just trying to come off like somebody who doesn't give a fuck, but they really do give a fuck. So just say, fuck it, I'm doing it. Boom.
Isn't always the safest option to make a video on. I'm aware. I don't care. If you
safest, you have fucking 300 subs. What are you worried about? Now's the time to make a video on Nick Deorio. I think.
Okay.
You're afraid of the backlash.
Problem with this.
Okay. I mean, if you want to sling like that, I mean, he's literally just going through the start of the video and saying, yeah, a lot of people support Nicholas Deorio. I'm going to get a lot of shit for it. Whatever. I don't care. It's literally a nothing statement. If you're going to pick up and, like, interrogate it that intensely, then sure. If he wants to talk back or if he wants to have a conversation with you, what's the issue?
That's what Queman does. That's what J-Stock do. And I think they're retarded. I think you guys are just a bunch of, Jesus, what do you call them? I always forget that fucking word for some reason. It's
Goblins?
No, what the fuck is the name? I always get this. This is something that will not stick in my brain.
Contrarian.
Contrarian malcontents. That's all you are. You say up, they say...
Dude, okay. Oh, contrarian. You can't remember the term contrarian. Okay, contrarian malcontents. I like it.
Down. It's just a thing. You know, with the hope to getting it on Chud stream, right? Where he can, best case scenario, call you a sweeper. And I know everybody's like, but what he usually does is, wow, it's a really good video. Don't know if I agree with it though. Over and over and over and over again. I don't know if you guys know this, but Aiden and Queman back in January took something I said, I don't remember exactly, but it had something to do with Slasher, and tried to get Chud to call me out. So there's a constant reel of videos for them to push it up to Chud to call me out. And Chud stays on the fence because he's very comfortable with the image that Chud is fair. Extremely comfortable.
Am I watching this for the first time? Yeah. It's very, very rare, despite it's probably better actually for doing content, but it's very, very rare that I will like completely pre-watch something. I think I skipped through this just to have a look, and then at the end, I caught the end on JStalk. This is the first time that I'm watching this. Yeah. Why are you streaming from an eggshell? Shut the fuck up. Can we ban the word contrarian? Okay. The word contrarian has like 2 definitions, okay? Now, one of them is somebody who will just disagree to disagree, and they don't really care about what they talk about. They don't really care what they say, and do they really believe it? They're just trying to poke holes, right? And then the second one is somebody who enjoys to voice disagreement. By the second definition, yeah, all of commentary, all of commentary are contrarians. Somebody who enjoys to pick apart somebody's argument, somebody who enjoys disagreement, who enjoys voicing when they have a disagreement. It's just whatever. Who really cares about the second one? If you think that somebody's bad faith in their disagreements, fair play. But then just call them bad faith. Yeah, I feel like people just call... I feel like Queman does kind of position himself to give critiques. And to do like meta commentary stuff. And so if you were to call Queman a contrarian by the second definition, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But if you don't think Queman believes what he's saying, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
With it. And so much that it just, at this point, it just kind of seems to me like he's sort of waiting for his moment to say, I don't know, Dick DeOrio, Queman made a really good video on you. Whether it's good or not, it just matters how the audience reacts to it. Now, I don't think that's a very good friend.
Huh?
I don't think that's a very good friend at all.
Sorry, what's the idea here?
With it. And so much that it just, at this point, it just kind of seems to me like he's sort of waiting for his moment to say, I don't know, Dick DeOrio, Queman made a really good video on you. Whether it's good or not, it just matters how the audience reacts to it.
Why?
Now, I don't think that's a very good friend. I don't think that's.
Why does it seem like that?
So you just push this thing up and hope Chud says something negative about it. He usually doesn't. But to me, I don't know if Chud is fair. I feel like Chud is waiting for his moment. And I was kind of reminded of that when he said, I'm calling out you, Nicholas DeOrio. And then he shoehorned something Stardust says in. Now, I know he apologized for it or got it straight, but I'm getting to the point with this and something that was in McMahon's video that is made...
Okay. At least from what I remember about that, okay, he starts complaining about Nicholas DeOrio, voices his critique of Nicholas, and then pivots to then focus on something that Stardust said. If anything, to broaden his critique and say, it's not just her, sorry, it's not just Nicholas DeOrio, it's not just him that does this, it's other people as well. If anything, that's given Nick a little bit of grace. No? What is the issue?
Me think for the last couple of days. But maybe the meme, Chud is fair, is not quite accurate. So let me make my case to you, right? So I'm calling out you, Chud, and I promise not to tie something that Stardust said and make it about Nicholas DeOrio.
Okay. Nicholas DeOrio has given no critiques, so far as I've seen, during this, about the involvement and the collaboration, tacitly, we'll say, with the ADL. Has Nicholas said that the ADL's involvement once has been, like, somewhat troublesome or somewhat worrying? I don't know if he has. So, no, the critique applies to both him and Stardust. That's how that works. This whole video is about how, what Queman says, not what Chud says. I mean, maybe. Like, how many times did he bring Queman up? Wait, oh my god, it doesn't even talk about Queman? Oh my god, man. 9 times. He's talking about Queman 9 times.
I'll just make my case. How about that? So, you know, we have the whole Queman, the malcontents, the demanding for debates. I will never do the debates. I will never go on there again. I got cornered by Queman. And there also seems to be a pattern when the test balloon doesn't fly, they come back and apologize to you. Like, I had no idea who Queman was when I went on there. I didn't know he hated me. Oh, he just hates you. It's no problem. Okay, he hates me. Fine. You know? And then the immediate apology, like he didn't know he was going to corner me. Well, I'm pretty sure he knew that. And then it's just the way he is, just the way he is. Well, I've watched Queman it's going on 6 months now. And he's a dishonest player. He's the one that's been selling this bullshit, him and his buddy Jay Stock, that what Destiny did is akin to rape, which is really, I mean, the biggest, funniest insult to every rape victim that ever lived.
What? Why are we talking about Queman's take now? What are we doing? I guess Chud apologized to you after he brought Queman on to like disagree with you. Yeah, because obviously it went kind of quite embarrassingly for you. And now we're talking about Destiny's E-Right.
Honest player. He's and then it's just the way he is, just the way he is. Well, I watched Queman for it's going on.
I mean, it is just the way he is. I feel like Chud is quite honest and quite fair about Queman. And that a lot of people find him incredibly annoying, incredibly irritating, and very, very aggressive. That's just true. He's dishonest.
6 months now. And he's a dishonest player. He's the one that's been selling this bullshit. Him and his buddy Jay Stock, that what Destiny did is akin to rape, which is really, I mean, the biggest, funniest insult to every rape victim that ever lived. I also think they're responsible for actually helping Destiny because the allegations are so ridiculous. I was so perfectly displayed inside of a Willie Mack show's video. So personally,
the allegations are so ridiculous against Destiny.
Displayed inside of a Willie. The allegations are so ridiculous. I was so.
What? Whoa, I've not kept up. Like the vast majority of people, okay, have not been keeping up with Tommy C's takes ever. I'll be honest, ever. What is he talking about? The allegations against Destiny is so ridiculous. They've ended up in a police report. It is now currently being like hashed out in like federal court. That's how ridiculous the allegations are. What are you talking about? Which was so beautifully demonstrated in Willie Mack's video. No, that is one of the points that Willie Mack conceded on, and then made a second video to be more condemnatory about Destiny. What are you on about?
Perfectly displayed inside of a Willie Mack show's video. So personally, I'm sick of it. I think it's weird. I think it's weird to call out Nick Deorio. Maybe it was a mistake. I don't know.
A mistake? It's weird to call out Nick Deorio. Why is it weird? Why is it weird? It's not that deep.
Don't know it all. And here's something else you didn't know. So Queman watches this crazy McMahon video, which is
my fucking god. Is this video all about Queman? Is it all about Queman? Do I get mentioned at all? Even once? Even once? Okay.
Completely nuts. Completely out like I don't compare it to genocide and it's just something with genocide and pedophilia and all this crazy stuff. And he apparently watched this fucker unironically. Now, I didn't watch Queman. Did anybody else see that?
It's about crazy stuff. It's about crazy stuff. It's about genocide and pedophiles. What are you on about? I'm guessing, because there was that one clip that circulated where he was like, Nicholas Deorio cares more about pedo art than he does about genocide. Something like that. And I guess it's going to be the take is that, you know, Nicholas has been incredibly, like, ethically, like, condemnatory of Lolly and gone after, like, I guess, Tipster and other associated people quite hard. But then he seemingly, I guess, hasn't said anything about the genocide of Palestinians. I mean, you don't have to, like, do, like, condemnation of Lolly to talk about certain dramas, but Nick has chosen to. I read chat. But he's never given a take on it. Now you can think that's a ridiculous. You can think that's a ridiculous take to have, right? That's totally fucking retarded. Like, why should Nicholas Deorio have to like discuss the alleged genocide in Gaza? But then, you know, engage with it. It's not that crazy. It's not that crazy a take. Read Rebecca's message in his chat. Even charge Logic's had mod Stylo King, highly malicious, also mod for Queefman. Okay, I thought that was me being incredibly dyslexic then. No, that's just how they typed it out. Even charged Logic's had mod, Stylo King. Highly malicious, also mod for Queman. Sorry, Queefman, pardon me.
Did Queman actually watch that unironically? Like, that guy had a point. It's literally in like 20 minutes of I hate you. Am I off here? I don't know. No, he didn't watch it unironically?
What? No, I don't know.
Well, I don't know if that's true or not. Because
that point I just made, not sure if it's true or not, but, you know, we'll just leave it out there. It sounds good, doesn't it? What are you talking about? I'm fairly sure, at least from what I remember. I didn't watch Queeman's stream going over that, but Queeman said that he just thought it was like a 4 out of 10 video. He just thought it was like funny.
he apparently apologized to Nick. And this is not the first time. It just feels like, you know, you don't have a fundamental understanding why Ethan Klein's, people don't like Ethan Klein. It just seems like the situation with me and admittedly Chud shut it down. It just seems like there's just a constant wave of gotcha. Constant wave. And I don't know if Chud is just too audience captured or he's snaking
you got
people.
Dicked.
That's
Okay,
what I don't know.
You're getting too big for your boots.
Why are we discussing drama when Gaza is dying?
True. Thank you, Palestinian Mama Max, for the 3 Australian.
I don't like it. I haven't heard from Chud in 6 months, pretty much quickly after they got him to talk about Kinetic Cal. And those guys have been trying to shoehorn me some kind of inappropriate relationship. They talked about my wife and how always trying to make me like the tipster and the goth queen. And Chud entertained it pretty unfairly, I think. And that was also around the same time. And by the way, you know what Kinetic Cal is?
God, he is such a fucking pussy. This guy wants to make the fucking jokes like fucking Howard Stern and wants to be kind of like skeezy and play the kind of seedy, you know, sex pest kind of character. But then as soon as people turn round and call him a sex pest, he literally cries. He sits there in his arcade room. He turns the lights off and just kind of like softly sobs to himself after retards on the internet call him a sex pest. Who cares? Yes, Chud covered some of the Kinetic Cal stuff, I guess. That was before I was even streaming, by the way. So Tommy can't connect that to me, alright? It was drama before I got there. Long before I got there, okay? But, yeah, people joke that you're a sex pest because there is hours and hours and hours and hours of footage of you making very creepy comments towards women. Now, it's a joke. I think everyone gets that it's a joke. You're not actually trying to, like, you know, sexually harass these women. But it's a bit weird, isn't it? And if people want to go, bit weird, isn't it? They're entitled to say that, you fucking pussy.
Kinetic Cal is a Patreon that came to me and asked to do an interview. Somehow that made me a sex pest. It was unbelievable. And
well, no, I think you were weighing into a drama you clearly knew nothing about. And then people kind of started going after you. I mean, it's just the way it is, isn't it?
Going after her when she was 14. Wow.
Yeah, I know. Chud doesn't entertain that, but he keeps entertaining this.
Go for Discord.
Okay, so that is a sound in an undisclosed Discord server that I won't name, and that soundbite is called Tommy C. So I'm not sure if that's true. There could be credible allegations there. But I don't know. It's not great evidence, but it is evidence. So one sec. I don't know if I heard that.
I'm 14, and he randomly sent me his dick over Discord.
Oh, man. Jesus Christ. Okay.
Like Ethan Klein in this situation. If you're kind of running over those people, you're really not my friend. You're my critic. And that's fine. We can be critics. But I don't particularly trust
I know I need some soundproofing.
And by the way, before you say I'm a water-brained retard, and I'm just speaking out my ass, and this is a big conspiracy theory, Chud, you can look into it. I'm not the only one. Hence why nobody has been on the show that comes from my community. You know, like Turkey Toms and Willies. That's why nobody's gone on there. You can check into that. You can look into it. Nobody trusts you. Whether it's just because you're...
Dude, oh my Is Tommy the weak link, or is he just making stuff up? Because this clip I did see. I saw this, and the whole question that I had there was, is Tommy just chatting shit and just talking about stuff? Or is there something deeper there that other people don't want to associate with Chud because of this? Aiden said he leaked. Is that true? Aiden is saying that he's leaked from the group chat. If Aiden's corroborating it, I don't know. It sounds like the kind of thing that Aiden would say just to try and piss people off or try to stir further drama. I wouldn't imagine. Okay, I could very well imagine that it is the case. Okay, but the thing is, Tom is not a live streamer anymore. He stopped live streaming. Deorio does do live streams, but he doesn't associate with anyone anymore. Willie Mac, he doesn't call into anyone's live stream anymore, yet again, because he couldn't take, like, people criticizing him. He had one bad interaction, and he's sworn it off completely. Maybe that's true, but I don't know. I'd be interested. I'll grab the clip. You know Deorio was leaked to Tommy C before. Okay.
You're afraid of Queman.
Wait,
I
what?
don't know. Nobody trusts you. Whether it's just because you're afraid of Queman, I don't know. Right? I could, or you're a snake and waiting for them to hit gold so you can turn around when the next Nicholas Deorio video comes out and say, wow, sorry, Nick. I know we were friends, but that was a good video. I don't know if that's your plan, but you run with snakes. It's the same criticism I made of Ethan Klein, by the way. You run with a lot of snakes, and it's starting to seem like the kind of criticism you have of them is kind of a bit of a show. Don't know, don't care, just putting it out there. You're more than welcome to respond to it the way you see fit. There's another thing.
Okay, buddy.
The famous New Year's stream, and this is the thing that really bothers me.
The New
This is
Year's
something I actually
stream.
picked up when I was watching. Do you all remember the New Year's stream? Remember the New Year's stream?
I do.
Yeah, it was an interesting stream, to say the least.
What were the two? What was the big development in the New Year's stream?
Kel got brought on to be questioned about her having sex with Colton, I think. That's what I remember from that.
Let me think. Destiny?
Aiden leaks at this. Oh, interesting. Ryle Kittenhouse leaks me a little bit of insider info. Where do I need to go for the insider info? Ryle Kittenhouse. No, let's have a gander.
You're on the right track.
That's more what it seems like. It's like Chud made a comment on his stream, didn't realize Nicholas would take it the wrong way, and was like, hey man, I hope we're good. Right? Is that not like when we saw Nicholas like going off in his Discord about it? No?
You're on the right track.
That's more what it seems like to me. Oh, I know Aiden has some. What's going on behind the scenes, Aiden? You're in all these. You're in all these group chats. You have all these.
Why can't you
private
just tell us?
Anything that I could leak, which I won't leak because then nobody will tell me in private, you could just figure out by watching those.
Is it just,
Like,
is it just Willie and Tom crying
true.
in private group chats about the fact that Chud ranked them or what?
No, I don't talk to. I haven't spoken to Tom in a long time.
I guarantee you, Turkey Tom is not complaining about this, and I guarantee you, Turkey
Yeah,
Tom
yeah,
would.
no,
Not.
I
think
didn't
Turkey Tom
know.
can handle this better.
But Aiden's saying it's obvious from what he's saying, so I'm just going by the news.
Well,
You have
that
to
he's
read
giving.
between the lines.
Here's
You
the
have to
thing.
ask yourself some of
No,
the
no,
claims
no.
Tommy's made.
Aiden's so fucking annoying. But okay, so it seems like the people that Tommy is bringing up and naming, yeah, they probably said something. And the people that Tommy brought up and named are probably in some kind of group chat together. That's probably it. Burger King J Stalk still goes, oh, true. Especially Burger King Chad, Nando's cuck, Nando's virgin. Okay, anyway. Wait, not this one. Chud criticized Nick and thought he'd get the homie pass, confirmed by Aiden. I mean, well, yeah. But if Deorio's felt a little bit of pressure for a little bit of time, I think, about the kind of interactions and the kind of, I guess, discussions or people from Chud and, I guess, Queman's orbit. Because I guess fundamentally, Queman's audience is, for the most part, Chud's audience, with a little bit of kind of like, you know, exclusive people for Queman. But I would say that does Queman have more sway over them? I don't know, but I'd say definitely Queman probably has a disproportionate sway over the opinions of Chud's audience compared to his size, perhaps. I could definitely see that being the case. But I guess that, you know, Deorio is probably kind of like, I guess, sense that Queman has like a kind of a big mobilized audience of people who kind of watch him, or at least listen to and respect the takes that he gives. And so if he's criticizing Nick, then that's kind of like an uncomfortable position to be in, especially with what happened to Willie. Because I know when Deorio went ahead and tried to run defense for Willie, that saw him getting a little bit of heat, a little bit of like internal drama, and he kind of, you know, scampered away from that quite quickly. I think there was 2 times when he agreed to go on and talk to JStalk, and then that just never materialized. But yeah, you have a better chance of talking to Queman than Chud as a viewer. Yeah.
Oh, Bobak's with the dress, right?
Bowplanks, yeah.
All right. Well, this is, I think Chud even knows this.
Nobody
believes for a minute that Chud didn't drop that on purpose to create content on a big stream with big players all in the same.
Wait, what? He's talking about the fucking dress.
That Chud didn't drop that on purpose to create content on a big stream with big players all in the same community. Nobody. Keep this in mind. I knew about the Bobak's dress, and some of Bobak's critics who had enough respect for him kept that quiet too, including Nick, And so what does Chud do? He brings up the dress out of nowhere. What's his explanation? I thought that was already public. I remember his exact quote. Would. Absolutely nobody believes that wasn't done on purpose. Now, who fucking cares? It's Blowbacks. He's treated Nick like shit. He's a complete backstabber. He'll say absolutely anything. So, yeah, I think everybody's like, fuck it. But it did get some people's attention. That was kind of a weird thing to do. And if you really believe that Chud believes that it was, I thought it was out there, then how come there were no videos on Blowback's dress between the months of August and early January? I think that might have got some attention. I'm just guessing. And you know what? I don't care that it's not like Chud had any kind of loyalty to Blowbacks or anything, but everybody pretty much agreed that maybe we shouldn't go that far if it's a sexual.
I don't know about that. Who is we all? Who is we all? Because it sounds like, from what's been discussed here, or what was discussed before, is that Bo Black shared it with one person, maybe 2 people, in private, sent it, then deleted the image. Somebody screen captured it, and then sent it round to everyone. Chud saw it, Aiden saw it, I've seen it now. I think Queman's seen it, Augie, Connor, Nick. Had Turkey Tom seen it? It sounds like Tommy C had seen it. Literally, this photo was going around like wildfire. Like wildfire. Everyone had seen that photo. Still not released, by the way. I could understand how somebody could mistakenly think that was public. But I'm fairly sure that Chud did like a huge mea culpa for that. And apologized for it. No?
Well, whatever. But what if I told you, and by the way, Zav Gaming, nobody believes he didn't do that on purpose. Chud, you can check it into yourself. You can talk to people that were in the stream. You can check. Nobody bought it. Not for a second. and it seems kind of low, but fuck it, it's Bobax. He's a piece of shit to us anyway, and would stab us in the back as soon as look at us. But what if I told you there was something worse in that stream? Something that I just noticed when with McMad, and I started to remember on that New Year's stream. At one point remember when I told you that everybody knew about Pixie? Everybody knew?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, everybody knew. And this is what it reminded me. And I remember seeing it and thinking it was a little weird. Everybody knew, all of them. I don't know about Augie and how much he knew. They all knew it was coming out.
Okay.
Every single one of them knew it was coming out. I don't know if they knew who, what, where, when, or how, but they knew it was coming out, right? At that particular time, Turkey Tom is still friends with Destiny. And he's got to keep the fucking rouge up at this point, knowing damn well when this thing comes out, he's going to distance himself. Otherwise,
Tommy doesn't know what he's talking about. So far as I'm aware, Turkey Tom didn't know anything about this when the New Year's Eve stream happened. That seems to be corroborated by Chud and Nick. I've heard people contest that and say, did he? I don't know. But there's been nobody claiming that said, like, no, I know. Tom did see it. Tom talked about it. Everybody, so far as I'm aware, has said Turkey Tom was in a rough position of not knowing what he was talking about. He was making comments about information and evidence that everyone else in the call had, and he did not. So no, he's not keeping up the ruse. He was still friends with Destiny.
Wise, who does it tip off? Destiny. I found it really strange, incredibly strange, that all of a sudden Chud is putting pressure on Tom and being extraordinarily anti-DGG. Putting Tom in a really, really weird position. Now, Tom can't come right out on it because they don't know if it's coming out. And remember what Nick said, you don't know A, if this girl's going to change her mind, or B, if she's going to get her money, and C, she didn't want it to come out. That's why.
I mean, Chud was just like ribbing him a little bit. Chud wasn't being that harsh to him. You could maybe say that Tom could have just easily laughed it off. If Chud would, I think Chud just said, like, can you really not, like, can you really criticize Destiny? Are you not maybe worried about a little bit of blowback from, like, his community? Tom could maybe say, like, unlike you, I'm not an orbiter freak. I've got my own audience, okay? I think I can weather the storm. My entire career wasn't built off the back of Destiny's live stream, okay? He could have said something like that. He could have thrown it back at him. He could have laughed back with him. It was just banter. It wasn't that fucking serious. Jesus Christ.